The Ugandan shilling has now entered the second year facing it hard against the international currencies like the dollar, yen, pound sterling, among others, and this is attributed to many factors that include lack of capacity for countries like Uganda to export manufactured goods to the international market. Of recent, Uganda has always consumed a lot of imported goods in the country compared to exported goods, leading the economy into a trade deficit compared to its partner states in the East African region. In a bid to address the trade imbalance and also have the Ugandan shilling compete favorably with other currencies, governments signed treaties to introduce the Uganda Free Zones Authority to manage and boost the country's exports. This was reaffirmed when the authority's public relations officer Doreen Kembabazi spoke to Channel 44 exclusively.
The current trade deficit, that means we import more than we export. And so this authority is meant to boost the country's exports, and in so doing we shall have more dollars coming in, and therefore that will address even the dollar increment, and the weak shilling will be able to gain.
The special free zones are not known in Uganda since it's a business field the country had not ventured into. Kembabazi, the authority's mouthpiece, briefly explains what actually free zones are and what advantage they hold for Ugandan exports.
Free zones, most people do not still know what free zones are. Those are controlled geographic areas that are outside the customs territory, and goods that are landed into that area, manufactured, processed, produced, managed in such zones are free of taxes if they are particularly meant for, and they are particularly meant for export.
Being an independent authority from other authorities like the Uganda Registration Service Bureau, Uganda Export Promotions Board, the Free Zones Authority is set to build on the experience other authorities have to promote Ugandan exports.
I've built synergies with fellow authorities. One of them is URSB, because one of the requirements before you get a license as an operator or a developer or a manager of a free zone is that you must register a company for the sole purpose of operating in a free zone. Okay? Meaning that you have to go to your RSB and be registered as a company. And so even in Uganda Export Promotions Board, we have built synergies with them because we appreciate the fact that they probably have more experience when it comes to exports, and we would work in synergy to see how best to support each other as we do the exports.
According to the Free Zones Act of 2014, goods that will be manufactured in the Free Zones Authority, 20% will be required to be sold locally, while 80% of goods for export, meaning the 80% goods for export, will be tax-free, and the 20% meant for local consumption will be fully taxed.
The 20% that is sold attracts taxes, full taxes, full taxes. It is only the 80% that is sold as exports that is tax-free.
Local manufacturers may be worried about the free zones, thinking they are meant to favor investors alone. However, this is not the case since free zones are also open to the private sector, as Kembabazi explains.
The free zone scheme is open to even the local investors. Okay, it is not only for foreigners. Of course, it is a capital-intensive investment, but even the private sector is free and very much encouraged to invest in free zones. Some may also wonder, for businesses that are already established, can they benefit from this? Of course you can. If you already have a business and you feel that it can fit within the realms of free zones, all you need to do is to re-register your company for the sole purpose of operating in a free zone. After that registration is done, then you can be able to operate in a free zone, and of course, after following all the other applications and licenses, then you'll be able to operate in a free zone.
Free zones are also regarded as important to emerging economies, especially Uganda as the industrialized nations, but also create skilled personnel and employment to the youth, widening the tax base.
creation of employment. We appreciate and know that when we industrialize and have many companies coming in as investors, one of the main things that we are targeting is for Ugandans to get employment and get jobs in those areas. And these jobs will stretch from the skilled to the semi-skilled and to even the non-skilled, the casual workers and the likes. So these investors are able to bring in advanced technology, and the same will be, and maybe even help to skill our locals or Ugandans that will be working with those companies.
Free zones are not new in Africa, having been in Kenya for over a decade, Tanzania for about 8 years, and Rwanda for 5 years now. Now that they have been introduced in Uganda following President Museveni's decision to sign into law the free zones in February 2014, the sky will be the limit for Ugandan exports. Brian Senkumba, Channel 44 TV.